Hey, good morning, everybody. Rory Powers, Right Line Trading. Thank you for joining me. Good morning. This broadcast is for demonstration and educational purposes only. Hey, it's important to know I'm not a licensed financial advisor. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. Okay, great. Man, gold. I was watching gold this morning and it is popping. It's got to be a record high, about $2,500 an ounce. And it came right to the top of our leaderboard. My name's Rory Powers again. I'm with Right Line Trading. We're going to be showcasing today the AI Auto Trader. And really exciting system. It's a fully automated strategies that run in the NinjaTrader 8 platform. Once enabled, they will execute and manage the positions on your behalf. We're going to be running the full portfolio. We have a really diversified portfolio of strategies, all of the index equity futures, along with crude oil and gold. And crude oil and gold are off to a strong start this morning. For prop traders, we have our one-day pass and some PA customized templates. This morning, you can see on my retirement plan, which is the 2-minute on the NASDAQ, it looks like a short position. Let's scroll back just a little bit. Took a short entry, and it looks like it scored $1,675. So that one went as planned. Thank you. That's my beautiful wife. Gave me a nice smoothie for breakfast. Okay, so we always look at the pre-market, what's been going on. And we start running the strategies at around 8 a.m., 7:30, 8 a.m. And our NASDAQ 2-minute came to the top on the one-day pass. Gold and crude oil are at the top of our leaderboard. Gold and crude oil. And then we have a few strategies on the NASDAQ and Russell and Dow that are in the money. Now, we had a big overnight move. Let's take a look at a bigger perspective here. A down move, actually. And around 350, there was a retracement from the big move up yesterday. And this morning, it's kind of filling in that gap from pre-market. So after yesterday with the FOMC meeting, with interest rate cuts possibly in the near future, probably around election time, there's some enthusiasm. Hey, congratulations, Rao. I bet you did it on gold. Gold's just been flying. I might go ahead and enable that signal A. Well, it looks like the signal B drone is the one scoring big. So I'm going to go to my trade copier. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. We're trading several prop accounts using the AI Auto Trader. It can also be used to trade a live account. And I think I am going to fund my live account again and start trading it as well. With the opening bell, there's just market's kind of looking for a direction here. Let's see if we get a bounce or it just continues to move down. I want to keep an eye on this ES. I have an ES strategy that trades a 5-minute and one that trades a 6-unit Renko, a little faster speed. And we'll keep an eye on that.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Congratulations, Rao.
Order submitted.
Let's take a quick look at the Forex Factory.
Order submitted.
Yesterday, I made a real rookie mistake. I scrolled as far down as the crude oil inventories and missed the FOMC statement coming out at 2. And it was a rugged day yesterday. So today, final manufacturing PMI at 945. And that one does have a red folder, so we're going to hold off on it, trading any live accounts until after 9:45. 10 o'clock is the ISM manufacturing, so we're going to tread carefully through those news reports. And those look like the major reports today, coming out at 9:45 and 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to pin my stop right on that 15 EMA on this.
Order submitted.
The 6 uni on the ES has been showing some promise. Here we go with the haymaker. Haymaker is really a very exciting strategy that runs on the NASDAQ. It's a 30 range, has a 50-tick trailing stop. And what it's doing is it's discerning that institutional money is pouring into the NASDAQ and driving the price higher. It follows in the trend that large institutions create. Has an extremely exciting ATM strategy with very little risk and a potential to make a really nice amount of money on these trades.
Order submitted.
And we're also going to be highlighting and showcasing our Steven bot. We have a bot named Steven.
Order submitted.
That earlier in the week, actually it was last Thursday, set a single day record. It was up $4,750, I believe.
Order submitted.
Closed July with over $6,500 in profits in July. Once we time optimized it to trade between 9:30 and 11, it really caught on fire. Here's a signal A entry on the NASDAQ 30 range, which is really, I love this entry. I saw the cross come up on my chart on the 30 range. It looks for a pullback to the 50 and a continuation into the trend to the long side. And this haymaker historically has been one of our strongest strategies. It takes those entries nice and tight to the 50. And on a long trade, we'll have a green 15 and a green 50. So market structure-wise, these line up. Our software defines these as having the lowest amount of risk associated with them. If we could pop through this area of support, this area of resistance, which it didn't, we could have been off to the races. So we'll look for a signal B entry now.
Order submitted.
On this break. It's tested and retested 1956.65, And if it pops through, we could have a nice pop. So I'm going to put my signal B on my Apex account here. using a trade copier. And look for this move to the long side. I need my gear to get locked. Now we're ready to trigger a trade. Let's see if we can get into this move up. Love to see it come back just a little bit.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Boom. There we go. Let's see if we can get this trade. Let's get there.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
All right, that one came back on us. Little overextended. Let's wait for the retracement back to the 50. Look at that ES6U of 837. Nice one.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
I'll take a look right now, Michael. Let me see this one trade here on the 30 range. See if we can get one to run for us.
Order submitted.
Get going. Don't come back now.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
There we go. There we go. Come on now. Keep going. Nice move up. Got this one copied over to my Apex.
Order submitted.
All right, so I got my profit target on my Apex account. Just that fast. I just closed the position out at 460. So on that Signal B drone, I look for about $500 a day. I'm gonna, if I feel comfortable with the market conditions, which so far I do, I'll go ahead and put some PA accounts on. But that was a nice trade. It brought in $460 on that Apex account, and we're really close to getting another PA account on that one. So I'm going to turn that strategy off of my Apex. You can see I'm very conservative. Once I reach my profit goal, I close the position and I'm done. And then I won't trade that account again today. I'm really big into capital preservation. I've kind of learned the hard way. But this is the actual strategy, which is still in the trade. I chose to close my position at my profit target. So we'll let this mature out. I usually close my positions too early and leave money on the table.
Order submitted.
Going right into an area of resistance here. Bounce back. So the signal B is up 555, and we're going to let that one continue to run on that sim account. To answer your question on the one-day pass, it looks like it hit a winner at 832. On the 2-minute one-day pass, I got a short entry. It looks like it shot a wick down and hit my target. Got in my profit window anyway. So, Michael, that's when it took the trade, right here at 832. So here's our leaderboard. We've got a diversity of instruments that are at the top. We've got the NASDAQ, ES, YM, Russell, crude oil, gold. Everything is kind of hitting today.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
Like this signal A on gold move back to the upside. Let's see how far back it comes back and retraces. Gold is trading that signal B, that signal B is trading really well. It's giving us a signal B entry signal, actually. That's what those crosses are here.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Yeah, I have an update. We're getting ready to release our pattern recognition. Gold is back in short now. It's got I tell you, it's up so high, so far overbought.
Order submitted.
It's making a big retracement back down. Here's Steven. Steven's our prime time. 8 Unarenko on the NASDAQ. And the market's moving a lot better than it did yesterday, I'll tell you. Yesterday was pretty rugged. That's a good question, Joseph. I have no idea.
Order submitted.
I can look at my task manager. I would imagine.
Order submitted.
Steven's trying to catch a move down in a market that's really trending to the upside. So you can see Steven is a very aggressive strategy. And when it catches on fire, there's no stopping it. It's a money-making machine.
Order submitted.
Our signal B just went short. The haymaker's in short as well. Steven was in early.
Order submitted.
Retirement plan's going to be in just a second. If it continues down.
Order submitted.
Stephen, right back in.
Order submitted.
It's one unit with multiple monitors. I bought the company bought a pretty strong gaming laptop that I'm running this on. I have 3 monitors on this setup.
Order submitted.
Beautiful signal A entry on the NASDAQ just now. Let's see if we're in that position. Yes, we are. So we're in the 30 range on a signal A. Our signal B's up 545. Signal A just closed out.
Order submitted.
Excuse me. It is a pretty strong laptop, Joseph. I could tell you what the specs are on it if you give me a second. I'll check it out. Here goes Steven. Now, with Steven, I like to, to accumulate data in this SIM account. I let it run, but in actuality, from what I've noticed, is that once it gets up $800 or $1,000, turn it off. No sense in giving it back. And on the downside, maybe risk 500. Double it for your profit to 1,000. I got an email from Martin, and he asked me if what the inputs were. I did share them in the Discord chat. Let's see what the specs are so you can get an idea. Now, you absolutely don't need a laptop that's this strong. This has 64 gigs of RAM. This laptop has 64 gigabytes of RAM, and it's a what is it? i11, 13. It's a 13th gen i9. I'm sorry, it's an i9 processor. 64 gigabytes of RAM is an overkill. You don't need anything that powerful. We stream this on YouTube, and we do a lot of meetings on Zoom and different venues. We do webinars on GoToWebinar. So we got it a little more powerful than what we need for trading. But that's what this one's running on, Joseph. You do not need to turn on more than one computer. You can run this on your local computer. Let me throw a caveat in. What's recommended is a good Wi-Fi connection. If you live in a remote area and you don't have a solid connection, we do recommend a VPS, a VPN. We have several IT experts on the team that will get on a screen share with you, order the VPN that has the appropriate specs, and set the whole thing up for you. But if your local computer has a good Wi-Fi connection, And you've got 8 to 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it's an i7 or newer. And I've seen people run it with less than that. Then you should be fine. Charles, who's our IT tech, does a great optimization service. A lot of our members have a computer that's plenty strong enough, but they have so much junk that's running in the background that he cleans their computer out completely and gets it running optimally. So it will run this system like a top.
Order submitted.
Nord, you recommend Nord, Joseph? Have to look into that one. Thank you. Charles is our, I like to call him gearheads, but to be respectful, Charles is our IT tech, and he could talk that language with you. Me, that's kind of above my pay grade. No problemo. Nord, I'm going to have to mention that one to him. Okay, we are back in the signal B, which is hot today. Let's see if we can break through this area of resistance. If we start running something up here, I want to trade my PA accounts today. Yesterday with the FOMC meeting, I chickened out. Got a lot of upside resistance, but some really good buying pressure. Steven's going to try to catch this pullback. Sneak in a $300-400 trade. It's kind of what Steven does. He's very sneaky.
Order submitted.
Back in the haymaker. Really nice entry here. Market structure-wise, very nice. The only thing I don't like about this entry is what I look for personally is I look for an alignment on the 2-minute. I like to see market structure-wise my 2-minute line up with that 30 range. And I know at that point we're in a confirmed trend. You can see on my 30 range, I'm set up. I was set up for a short trade, but you can see on the 2-minute on the higher time frame, not exactly. So we've got a lot of upside resistance. Let's keep an eye on that ES chart.
Order submitted.
Here's crude.
Order submitted.
We're going for a monster on crude oil. Work this out. There goes the news report. That's a good question, Joseph. What we do when we when you place your order, we set up our full portfolio of strategies. There's about 24 of them. That number is really cut in half. Where each one of our bots has a drone that runs in tandem with the bot, and it's part of our AI technology. It's telling the drone is telling the bot what the range of the market is in real time. And the bot will dynamically adjust the position of its stop and profit targets based on the range of the market. So to stick with your question,
submitted. Order submitted.
is we run the full portfolio of strategies all in their own unique SIM account. We set up a separate SIM account. We have a tool that sets up the whole workspace for you in just minutes. And then what we do is we really let the data dictate which strategies we're actually going to trade in our live account. We post in our Discord chat group each week the top performing strategies.
Order submitted.
And those are the ones. We're not going to trade the full portfolio of strategies in our live account. What we are going to do is only trade the ones that are doing the best. I think this past few weeks has been a really good illustration of how institutional money practices, sector rotation. One or 2 weeks, gold and crude oil will be hot for one reason or another. Those large hedge funds will rotate their equity into their money into precious metals and energy, and rotate out of the index equities, and vice versa in other times. So we want to have our finger on the pulse of the market. We want to be able to transition into the ones that are the most profitable. And we have some really great tools. NinjaTrader 8 provides us with a tool called their Trade Performance that allows us to historically see which strategies are performing the best and what time of day that they're performing. And we share with our members optimized templates to trade the hottest strategies during the peak times of the trading session. All of that data is based on performance. It's all based on the performance.
Order submitted.
I had a feeling that gold was going to pop back up to the long side. It's been doing this all morning for big winners. I was silly. The gold signal B got the bounce back up and now is just running up the score. It came right to the top of my radar this morning. It was up $1,000 before the market opened. It was poking me in the shoulder.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
So we've got our index equities headed down now, and gold headed up. Kind of an inverse correlation. The haymaker just needs one. One good one on the haymaker, and you can call the golf course and get a tee time. Because you're done for the day. Let's see if we can get this one to run to the downside. Gold's up at $1,230. That's trading one contract. One contract on gold. Stevens back up to 610.
Order submitted.
Those decisions, Joseph, would be based on the performance of the strategies. There's been times that I only trade one and times that I trade 3 or 4 different instruments. Absolutely, Kenneth. Absolutely. You can absolutely trade the micros. In fact, if you do decide to come aboard, what we do is we have a special tool. and haymakers right back in. We have a special tool that will automatically load, and you can pick them. If you choose the one-day passes, it'll load all the one-day passes. Then you'll have a choice to load all of the micros, and it'll load all the micros in a separate account, separate SIM account. Then if you want the full contracts, it'll load on your workspace the full contracts. So to answer your question, the short answer is yes. The long answer is the one I just gave you. Not only is it yes, but we have a tool that does the whole thing for you.
Order submitted.
Getting a big move down on crude. I was reading an interesting article on crude oil. Crude oil, the inventory report came out yesterday, and they were thinking about cutting the production. Well, they are. They're going to cut the production of it even further because the prices have been going lower. Here we go. This is our haymaker in action. And this is what the haymaker does. Very quickly, it can put you right where you want to be and be done for the day. It's got into our profit window of 40 ticks now. So boom, we're up 760. There's nothing preventing you from stopping at that point. I stopped at 460 and I'm happy with that. That's my profit goal. I know historically from running the strategies which ones I like, and everyone's trading style is different. Rao loves gold. He trades gold every day, and we have a great strategy for gold. I kind of like to trade the NASDAQ, the E-mini. I'm really not dogmatic. I like the NASDAQ. There's a bit of an addiction problem. But I try not to be dogmatic about it. I try to rotate into the ones that are doing the best.
Order submitted.
Like if Steven catches on, if it starts getting traction, I'm thinking about putting it in my PA account. I know it's aggressive, but I've seen it. When it gets hot, you can't stop it. Our retirement plan today is not doing well. 945. It's down 945 on the 2-minute NASDAQ.
Order submitted.
I'm going to turn my bot off and let the drone keep running. So the drone will keep running, but I turn the bot off so the bot won't take a trade
Order submitted.
because I want to lock in that $1,000. That's, for these strategies here on Sim, if they reach 1,000, and you're trading a $50,000 prop account or a live account, take that money and run with it. But it's jumped right back in. Got stopped out at probably around break even on that one. Maybe a small gain with that trailing stop. Good question. Blues Queen 23, it does. Comes with the full Monty. It's a full system. Comes with all of the futures. All of the full contract.
Order submitted.
All of the micros. All of the one-day passes and prop trading templates. It comes with everything. Whether you order the monthly or the lifetime. Now, RAW is an optimized version. We have a great Discord community. that shares with one another their experience, and that they let everyone know what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them. But we have a member of our team, not of our team, of our community. His name is Robert. And Robert is an expert. He happens to be a professional in this niche, in the trading world. But anyway, my point is that he's an expert at optimizing these strategies using a tool in NinjaTrader 8 called the Strategy Analyzer. Strategy Analyzer has a really great feature that allows you to optimize these templates by testing a number of instances or variables all together at once, which really reduces the time to optimize these templates. So he's a member of our community. He's taken this Steven strategy that you see in this long trade at the top left. He's taken that template and done some really great optimizations with it. And I have those variations running in this RAW account. You can see my leaderboard here. In my RAW account, that's an optimization of this Steven template that he's made. This Kim account is another one. So we're running a few different variations of that strategy because it made 6,000 or 7,000 last month, trading the whole month. So we're trying to fine tune it, and he's a valuable member of our community that shares his optimizations with our community of traders. So his strategies didn't take those two losers, if you notice. His strategies didn't get suckered out into those bad trades. They stayed right where they were at 730.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Dan's waiting. Rao, Dan's waiting. He said earlier, Dan, that he passed the 50,000 eval. So I can only we can only imagine that it was definitely on gold, knowing the history. He's probably he got a Brinks truck parked up to his house there. Rao is our gold trading extraordinaire. He posts numbers that are, eye-popping.
Order submitted.
There goes Steven trying to get up to the top. Let's see if it can get into our profit window here. Nope. The bot template gets updated to follow the market. It does, Bruno. The drone is sharing information with the bot, and it's dynamically updating the inputs based on the market conditions. Our new component that I was alluding to just a little earlier is the machine learning pattern recognition. I was running an instance of it yesterday that Sergio informed me that there was a mistake in it, and he's going to give me an update today. But we've got this pattern recognition that looks at a number of different popular. Listen, every single day the market is very geometrical. It has reoccurring patterns that usually will cause a reversal, a continuation, a variety of different patterns. Our system is going to learn them, and it's going to take action based on whether to open or close a position based on the pattern recognition. And we've got something in the works that, let me tell you, it's going to be a game changer. I'm really excited to get that second version of it. We're in collaboration with really a world-renowned AI lab. Steven, just that fast, is at 1,200. And it won't stop. I have this one set to keep trading. But listen, again, you want to be prudent. If you hit a profit goal, it might look like it's going to go forever, but every time you get into a trade, you run a risk of losing. And I think everybody knows that from experience. It seems like the good times will last forever, but they don't.
Order submitted.
So I would have been done with Steven at 1,000 and called it a day. But we're going to let it run today just for demonstration purposes, and we're going to see what it does. The 2-minute retirement, let's see what the bot is doing. The bot is down 510 on the 2-minute retirement, and the drone is down 1,000. So the bot, the 2-minute bot, excuse me.
Order submitted.
The position I just shut off with, these are my open positions. You can see them here. We're short gold. We're short the NASDAQ on the Haymaker. Let's take a look at that trade on the Haymaker. Haymaker is one of my favorite strategies. When I see the Haymakers in a trade, I always want to watch it. Just love this strategy. Trying to break through that area of support. If it does, we've got some running room. Bounced on us. Let's see if we can push through. Nope. All right, well, the Haymaker's holding steady. It's looking for that one big move to put us on the sideline. So the bot templates do get updated to follow the market, Bruno. The answer is yes. And it does it dynamically.
Order submitted.
In real time, without the trader's input, without your input, it will dynamically change the inputs while you're trading. Hey, Tim Murphy. Yes, sir, I remember you. Absolutely. Great question, Ken. It's very important that we do it every week. We spend hours on Friday going through the data. We've got a kind of a cheater, I like to call it, a shortcut. We developed a program that analyzes data. With this new AI technology, it's just incredible the power of the amount of data that it can analyze and give you spit out an answer that it would take you or I and 5 different calculators, an hour or two to figure out. We've got this AI technology. We're in a big trade in crude. Let's check out the short trade on crude. It's in our black gold strategy. And we like to give crude room. What I like to do is when I see it up about $200 or $300 and my stop is out in right field, I can always right-click my stop and select Attach to Indicator. And I go to Properties and I attach it to my modified fast, which is my 15 EMA. So now I have a momentum-based trailing stop that's going to lock in. It's a little bit of a tighter trailer that I like to put on once the trade is matured in my direction. So if the trade does come back, I'm not going to give back all of my profits.
Order submitted.
Thank you, Charles, for answering. I was waiting for that. I was like, Charles must be sleeping because they were right in your lane. He makes it a point to study those things and learn them, and he knows them like the back of his hand regarding the servers. So we're looking really good. We've got a good variety of strategies today that have really performed extremely well. It didn't take me long to hit my profit goal on my account. And chances are, if you knew the system and you had it running, you'd be on the sideline with a nice green trading day. Our ES signal A, that's the cash register. The ES signal A, I was highlighting in yesterday's webinar the ES, and we've got two entries on the ES. The signal A is the reversal, and our data has proven that early, between 8:30 and 10 or 10:30, the ES makes a tremendous reversal almost every day. And that ES signal A we run in the morning early to capitalize on that reversal. Signal B is back in on a monster. And then what happens is later on in the session, we transition in our strategy parameters. We have a trading hours setting that we could put the signal A from, say, 8:30 to 10, and it'll stop trading at 10, and then the signal B will kick in at 10:30. So if we go to the ES real quick, I was showing my 6-unit Renko that I'm testing, but let's look at the strategies that are actually in the portfolio. The ES signal A bot, which is leveraging that AI technology, is up 512. And you can see the entry that it took this morning was a big reversal.
Order submitted.
That's what it's looking for. It's just waiting to catch that momentum shift to the downside there. And it took a nice winner. If I look at the drone, it's probably up even more. The drone has a wider profit target. The drone told the bot, move your profit target in, because it saw the range of the market earlier. It was very choppy. So it told the bot, move your profit target in, but the drone left it where it was. It told the bot, move it in, and the bot on the signal A is up 512. So that sometimes, moving the stop and profit targets, like in this case, worked against us. We could have made a little more money, but in the long run, it really helps us a great deal. Our 30 range AI bot is up 1,060. That's the one that I traded this morning and hit my profit target.
Order submitted.
In a monster position on gold.
Order submitted.
We have a bot called the Gold Nugget. I'll put on the Gold Nugget. You can see the Gold Nugget. Gold is, came right to the top of our radar this morning, which is really a big part of our trading methodology. Here's Rao. Rao, big moves on gold this morning. Big moves. Let's take a look at the Russell.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
So we've got several gold strategies that lit it up. And now the Russell is also riding the trend, riding the wave, and pushing down to our profit target. This is a perfect example where I like to pin my stop. It's about to get into our profit window is what we call it. And I'll explain really briefly what that is. I like to pin them to my 15 at times when I'm up $200 or $300. But also the system will also have what's called a profit window, where once we get close to our profit target, if we get within 10 ticks, or it's a variable that we've optimized, but it's adjustable. For example, on the NASDAQ, we're going for 150 ticks, and we've got a 50-tick trailing stop. Well, if we get to within 15 ticks of our profit target, then our stop is going to jump to 15 ticks behind price. So we're not going to risk more than we could potentially win when we're in a really nice winning trade. Steven's back in. Let's go back to Steven. Let's see what Steven's up to. Steven's up to 920. It's been holding steady at about 1,000 for the session.
Order submitted.
The drone is still in it. I pinned my stop to my 15. But the drone, I always like to look at what if I didn't touch the stop? What would it have done? So I can always go back to my drone and see, hey, how bad of a decision did I make? Because the drone is, remember, the drone is accumulating data to give to the bot. So it takes all of this data and it tells the bot on the next trade where the best place is to put your stop and your profit target. So we let the drone play out. We don't touch it. And it gives the bot some very useful information to execute on the next trade. Congratulations, Ro. I think if I put a Keltner channel on this chart, it won't do that.
Order submitted.
Let me try. I see price keeps on these Unarenko bars. Sometimes price will move right off of your chart. And if we put on a Keltner channel, sometimes it'll prevent it from doing that. It'll keep it centered.
Order submitted.
It appears that the NASDAQ is giving us really nice moves to the downside. I love our signal A. The retracement back to the 50 and the continuation back down short. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my PA accounts and put it on the signal A.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
And look for a short roll.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Now, right around 10:30 or 11 on my ES, which I was highlighting earlier, my signal B is going to kick in. My signal A on the cash register, if you remember, is at 5:12. And what we do now, starting at about 10:30, we got the reversal. That worked perfectly. And now what we're going to do is get into a trend trade and transition to a signal B entry, which is when my Laguerre oscillator is pinned, and we have market internals. The market internals is showing us that there's a disparity between uptick versus downtick, which is a really good indication that institutional money is rotating their money out of the E-mini. When we see those triangles on our E-mini chart, like you do here, that means that they're that they're selling off the E-mini. Institutions are, and we're turning 2,500 contracts a minute, so we've got decent volume. I missed my A entry on the 30 range talking, but that's the entry that I'm looking for. You can see it. My oscillator, my RSI line in my oscillator rolled, came down through that 80% line. I'm referring to this pink line in my oscillator. I just put dots on it. And it caught that huge move down. So I could have caught that entry if I put my apex on the signal A, which I'm about to do in just a moment. But I'm waiting for my signal B to kick in. Now the institutional money is really playing that E-mini. They're selling the heck out of it. You're just under 9,000 contracts a minute, which is tremendous. So that gives us a good indication, hey, short the E-mini. In fact, my Signal B drone is in. So let's take a look at the Signal B drone. I put it on a little earlier to start at 10:30 because I really keep an eye on the data with this, and I love the E-mini. So we're actually in the Signal B already, I just noticed. So our Signal A ran up the score at 500, and now we've got our Signal B in with very little risk. Very little risk. Looking to ride this trade further down. In the month of July, it was extremely effective. It was one of our top strategies. We can automate this to where it'll take one entry during a certain time of the session, and then mid-session change to be able to get us into these institutional-driven trends, created trends.
Order submitted.
Steven's back in on a big trade. Now we're headed back up. Our stop is moved to break even, so we have no risk on the move. We're down 187 on the B. And on the signal A, we're at plus 512. So net about 350 on the E-mini.
Order submitted.
Oh, look at that signal A. Talking too much and not trading. You see the cross on my NASDAQ chart. That's the signal A that I was trying to get into before I went off on that tangent. But man, I sidestepped just a tremendous trade. Ah, look at that trade I missed. And our system was just all over it. I saw it coming. Um, I know the triggers of our system, and once you run it for a few weeks, you'll know them too. And I saw that trade coming, and I got caught up in the E-mini dissertation. It cost me. I was just about to put my PA account in this bot. And you could see the beautiful entry it took. I love that signal A strategy. Listen, this trade here is just picture perfect. It's going to keep trading because it's only up 400 now. But it's doing the same thing. I know there's a little lag, and let me see if I can get it in here real quick on my Apex. 30 range signal A.
Order submitted.
We're going to put as our leader. And I'm going to put my PA accounts as my follower.
Order submitted.
I'm just playing around with my trade copier. Excuse me for just a second. Let me see if I can get a trade on my funded account here.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Okay. Back to Steven. Steven's up 1,200 now.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
And there we go with the signal A on the 30 range. Little bit of consolidation.
Order submitted. Order
Ooh,
submitted.
there it goes long.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
There goes Stephen.
Order submitted.
We're at about 1200 for Stephen now. It's our leaderboard, the ones that are doing the best. Stephen, these are the two optimized Stevens. They stopped trading. Let's take a look at the Dow. Trying to get into the short move on the NASDAQ here on this 30 range. Here we go. See if we can get this entry. If we get a nice push to the downside, we should be in.
Order submitted.
The Dow Diamond. The Dow is our strategy that trades, obviously, the YM. The YM is $5 a tick. And it's also been right up there for the month of July as one of our strongest strategies. We've been getting really good action on the YM. The YM is up 490 today. Signal B drone. Looking to get this break here on the NASDAQ. Hey, Scott, good morning. How have the optimized Stevens? I was just talking about that earlier. What I've noticed is that when they were optimized by Robert, he cut some of the trading hours out. And I think this is a window that they take a pause. Because I see that they haven't moved in about an hour. But to answer your question, the Rao and Kim, which are those two optimized templates you're asking me about, are up about 750. The more aggressive one is at 1100. So they're doing pretty decent today. And we trade the if today's your first day, I want to welcome you. We're really showcasing the potential that the AI auto trader has. We do have a methodology that we have, and if you do decide to come aboard, you're going to learn it. And we use this powerhouse of a system to lock in profits, to do our best to. We don't win every day. We do lose trades. We're not going to win every day. But I really, truly, and honestly believe that it's going to provide you with an edge over all other retail traders. Okay, we caught this one short. Man, I'd love to see this trade run. This is the one that counts for me. This is the one and I need. Come on now. Let's do it. Give us some follow through. Push on down. There we go. Nice. Oh. Come on down.
Order submitted.
I'm minus 60 on that trade, so not too bad. But let's not give up.
Order submitted.
Let's see if we can get this break. There's a lot of selling pressure. Stephen went long. That's a tough position to be in right now.
Order submitted.
Okay, the Russell just fired off short. I like that entry a lot better. Trying to break through that area of support. Everything's flying to the downside now. Let's get the gold nugget back up. We're about to get into gold on the signal B again. Had a really nice move on the Russell. Let's see if we can get some follow through now. What's preventing my entry on the NASDAQ? Because I am enabled on that. But those areas of support are preventing the entry. So the system is going to help you sidestep, prevent you from taking a bonehead trade into a pivot. If there's a pivot within 60 ticks of my entry, it is not going to take that trade. It's not going to trade directly into an area of support or resistance. If we've got a clear path to our profit target, it's going to jump in for you. Wow, the Dow and the Russell.
Order submitted.
And we just got a pop. Oh, that Stephen goes against the grain, don't it? Oh, here comes a signal A on that NASDAQ. Hold on. Well, let's see what happens. Stephen is loving it. Now our Laguerre is pinned to the top on that 30 range on the NASDAQ. Stephen is headed up to the moon. Stephen's at 1500.
Order submitted.
Now it's riding back down.
Order submitted.
Steven is like driving a Maserati, a Ferrari. That thing is off to the races. It'll pull that stop all over the chart. Here we go with our signal A. Let's turn it on. Let's try to get in this. Let's try to get in this signal A. I don't think it happened. Nope. Come on. Put us into the long side on this A. Let's get a ride up. Let's go to our signal A drone. Boom, we're in. Come on now. Pop up to the upside. Some follow through now.
Order submitted.
All right. I'm about a break-even trade on that one. No follow-through to the upside. The trend seems to be down to the downside. Our signal B is back in on the ES. Let's take a look at that trade. Got wicked out on our short entry a little earlier.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
There's our ES strategy that has been doing so well. I don't really see price action. I was highlighting in yesterday's webinar the cash register strategy, which is our ES on the 5-minute. And the success that we've been having on that signal B entry. Signal A, signal B, signal A early. Come on, let's get some follow through on this trade now. Come on, pop up.
Order submitted.
Okay. What's really nice about these strategies also is you have the ability to, if you would like, you could move your stop and profit targets. So if you, or you could close the position. So it really gives you a lot of flexibility. I saw this pivot formed. You can move your profit target right up to the pivot. So it is a semi-automated system in that regard as well. Stephen is back up and running. Very exciting strategy to watch. Let's try to push us into a signal B entry on the haymaker. Let's get one nice trade on the haymaker to end this session. We're going to trade the one that is really making the most money, and that's going to be the bot. The bot is up 1,000, where the drone is losing money. All right, Stephen. Man, Stephen's been passing evals every single day. Great job, my friend. I'm curious to see the 2-minute on the NASDAQ, where the 50 is. Okay, it's now okay. Now I see. I was talking earlier about how I like to take entries on the 30 range NASDAQ when the 2-minute is also aligned to the downside. And you could see now my 50 EMA, which is this line here, this solid line, and my 15 is the dotted line. Market structure-wise now, they're both lined up very nicely for a short position. Come on, push down. Push down.
Order submitted.
All right. Let's see if that ES, man, that ES has just been on fire. Let's see if we could break this pivot. Oh, we've got institutional money selling off the S&P 500. I like to manually, if I'm in it with my own money, at 12.50 a tick, I like to trail it a little tighter, especially when I'm up 600. So if you wanted to, you could certainly do that. I'm going to let this run just the way it comes out of the box. But if you are around and you want to use some discretion, you see you're up 500 or 600 on a trade, and it's kind of right where your profit goal is. There's nothing wrong with taking the money off the table. If we can break this area of support on the NASDAQ, we've got some running room to the downside. We're just in a huge area that it looks like the E-mini's trying to push through. But we've got a pivot right there at 19,330. Broke one of them. Let's see if we could push through. We could be off to the races here in just a minute. I'm ready with my 30 range signal B. Should we break this last blue line? Is really the last line of defense before a complete meltdown. Here we go.
Order submitted.
Oh man, and we are in. I just missed the entry. I missed that short. I'm tempted to just manually take it. Come on in our profit window. I'm looking at the ES trade up 1,000. Come right in our profit window. Really don't want that coming back on me now. Little more. Couple more ticks. Get in there. There we go. Just hit our profit window. The profit window squeezes it. It locks in the profits. You can see here on the E-mini, we got just, I think it's about 10 ticks from our profit target, maybe 5. And my stop came flying down and said, I'm not giving that money back. And boom, the signal B is up 700, and the signal A is up 500. So the E-mini had a $1,200 day today, trading the S&P. It jumped right back in. For me, myself, that would have been it for me. The system is a robot, and it has $1,000 profit goal, and it's going to trade till it reaches $1,000. So at any point, you can always, on a discretionary basis, disable the strategy, or within the strategy parameters, let me show you this real quick, because it's important to know. Everybody's risk tolerance is different. If we go into the parameters of the strategy, and I go to my AI Auto Trader P, and I load that ES signal B entry, which is the one that we run in the later in the morning. And what I can do is I could put what my session loss limit is and my session profit target. So once this strategy reaches minus 500, it's going to stop trading. And on the other hand, once it reaches 1500, it's going to stop trading. Well, listen, if you're more conservative, if you don't really want to, if you make 1,000 or 500 or whatever your profit goal is, you have the ability to customize this to your goals. You don't have to go with them the way they come out of the box. Every single one of these parameters is fully adjustable, as well as the days of the week. We have a few different entries that are our triggers, our conditions, and our trade management. We've got some really great trade management components to this. I'm watching the signal B on the side of my eye breaking away. This should be on the ES, but I wanted to highlight the trade management component because we have a trailing stop that we can always integrate. So if you don't like if it's 1250 a tick and you don't want it coming back on you, you could trail it as tight as you like. You might want to trail it by 2 points or 3 points on the E-mini, depending your style of trading. We don't trail it on this on the drone. We let the drone get all the information and feed it to the bot. But once it goes 4 points, it goes to break even. I was talking to one of our members yesterday, and he's going to move it to break even plus 4, and he's going to lock in a point of profit at that point. So if the trade goes 4 points on him, he's going to take a point in profit and still be in the trade to go for the full excursion at 90 ticks, which is really on the NASDAQ. That's a really nice trade. If you get 90 ticks on the NASDAQ, it's huge. And then we have that profit window that you just witnessed that is totally configurable. We have it set at 10 ticks. So once it comes within 10 ticks of your profit target, it's going to squeeze the stop to go 10 ticks behind price. So you're only going to risk, you can only give back as much as you could potentially make if it continues to the full excursion. So we have some really unique, some really nice trade management features that you have a variety of different ways to lock in profits. We had the big webinar on Traders Corner yesterday, and I know a lot of people that were in Traders Corner are here today. We sent you a special invite, and I want to thank you for joining us today to highlight the AI Auto Trader. The ES is doing really exactly what I talked about yesterday with our Signal A and Signal B. And we've also been highlighting the Stevens strategy, which was our number one strategy for the month of July. This strategy, trading one contract, was able to rake in $6,500 in profits. About the middle of the month of July, we time optimized the inputs to trade only during the most profitable times. And since we've done that, the cutoff is 11. So this strategy now should not be trading. It's trading past the cutoff. But I wanted to run it wide open. The way we optimize these templates is we let them run wide open. And then we can see through our trade performance analysis, for example, I was showing yesterday the one-day pass in the month of July. If I go to the analysis and I pull up that Stevens strategy, you could see the P&L. This is the cumulative for the month. Was at 6,500. But what I could do is I can put it to half hour of the day. And what we found is if we trade it only between 9:30 and 10:30, it crushes it. We can even bring in the 10:30 to 11 half hour, and it still does very well. In fact, it would have been up $11,000 had we just run it during those times. So since then, about middle of the month July, we time optimized it. We continue to run it. We released it to our members time optimized in our Discord chat. So it'll only run during the peak times. But we continue to run it for the full session to accumulate data, just so I can give you a little background of it. And if we move over to this month, let's go to July, let's go to today. And I think you'll find the time optimization is pretty consistent. From 9:30 right up until 11, it's starting the same thing. It does very well. After 11, it drops off. So when we set this up on your computer, we set it up to where it's only going to trade when it's profitable. We're not going to, have you trade a strategy that when we know at 11 o'clock it takes a big nosedive. But the only way that we can continue to optimize these templates and deliver you time optimized and optimized settings, we have to continue to let them run through the entire session without touching them. And that data is really more important than getting winning trades in a sim account. And that's really how we cater to our members. We want to establish a win-win relationship. If you're not making money, it's a one-sided relationship. We want you to make money. We want you to have success. So to answer your question, we optimize these templates on a weekly basis, and we share those optimized settings with you in the Discord chat group. So it's about 11:15. We're going to break at 11:15. Gary Sparks is up 11,500. Yes, Gary. Man, you just made my day. I know Gary for years. He's a great guy. He's part of a trading group, a group of traders that, man, this is what they do. They love trading. That's their passion. And Gary, I love to hear when you have success. Thank you for sharing that with me. Great guy. So we're lined up nicely on the NASDAQ for these short positions, for these short rolls. Thank you, Blues Queen. I appreciate that. We want to provide, we want to have an edge as traders. Coming not from a vendor's perspective point of view, from a trader's point of view, I confessed to the world that I'm a terrible trader. But given this tool, it's been a game changer for me. And more days than not, I hit my profit goal, and I'm able to use it in a very effective way. But what my point was is it's important to have an edge over the other retail traders. And believe me, most people trading that are retail traders, not professional traders, they don't have a system that's as powerful as this. That doesn't give you the insight that this one gives you. Yes, we can automate it fully, but with a little discretion on your behalf on which strategies to go with, by utilizing the trade performance metrics that NinjaTrader provides you, and we do training on this. It provides you all of the information you need to be able to start your day and be done within the first hour of trading.
Order submitted.
The other ES strategy that I've been trading is on a 6-unit Renko, and that one's also up 637. So you see my signal B is up 712, my signal A is up 687, and these strategies are continuing to do extremely well on the ES. We've always got a haymaker strategy that just runs up the score on a consistent basis. Nice job, Stephen. Stephen just hit 5,100 on a PA account. Gary Sparks, 11,500.
Order submitted.
Stephen Aldridge passed his 50,000 evaluation. So our members are really achieving some really game-changing numbers, some life-changing numbers. The YM did extremely well today again. Man, the YM is really gaining my confidence. Our one-day pass. Oh, I missed it. Our one-day pass fires off at 11, and I'm really sorry. I meant to highlight that. That CL one-day pass is so exciting. It took the trade. You can see the long entry here on my chart. The one-day pass is our prop trading template. Crude oil, as you know, is $10 a tick. It got in right at this long entry on the cross and just rode it straight up to the 50 and got into our profit window for a $2,000 score on crude oil. So the ODP on the crude oil and the 2-minute retirement plan was able to score today for our prop trading templates. So we've got some really powerful strategies, not only to get you funded, but once you're funded, we've got some great strategies that have the potential to get you some really nice payouts. This ES looks like it's going to bounce on us back to break even, but you never do know. For me, I would have never been in this trade. I would have been done for the day. But for demonstration purposes, we let them play out, and we love to get that data and information. So let's just summarize our leaderboard today. And I want to take a minute and just thank everybody for joining me. We had, as I mentioned, 2 of our one-day passes. Gary hit all 3. Yeah, Mark told me that this morning. My system wasn't set to the right time on the 30 range Nasdaq. Was it the 30 range Nasdaq, Gary, that you hit the third ODP? Yeah, my team told me this morning, hey, something's wrong with your 30 range, and I checked it. I had the wrong hours. So we actually in reality hit 3, but I had one of the wrong hours on one of mine, so it shows 2. Crude oil, the 2-minute Nasdaq, and the 30 range Nasdaq today. From what I've been hearing, all were successful or got in within our profit window. Our haymaker strategy on the bot was up 1,000. Our ES on a 6-unit Renko up 837. Our optimized Steven templates were up 730. That's that 8-unit Renko that we were watching. And then what can I say? Our signal A and B worked to a perfection today. Up $1,300, $1,400 on the E-mini. The bot on the signal A, the YM, the Dow Diamond is up 500. I was able to make just about 500 in my Apex account. Gold, 330. So really, it was hard to pick a loser today. It was a great day to be in the market. One of my PA accounts, I got in late. It's up $5. I think I covered my commission. Maybe I can get a Happy Meal over at Burger King. But the big story is we're not in the red. And this is a system that we made some money with today. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining me. Listen, tomorrow I've got some great news. It is Miller time. The owner of Right Line Trading, and you are cordially invited to join us tomorrow. The owner of Right Line Trading, Mark Miller. I like to call it Miller time. It's Miller time. Mark Miller is extremely exciting. He's great at trading this system. I call him our prop trading extraordinaire. He keeps 20 different, Apex accounts at all times. And just to watch him is a lot of fun. So if you're available and you're going to be around tomorrow, we get started at 9:30 Eastern, Monday through Friday. And God willing, we're going to do it again tomorrow. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining me today. So long. We'll see you tomorrow. Here's today's results.
Order submitted.